So if you're a Ford owner, you know that a sudden check engine light can be a real headache, especially when it comes with a cryptic code like U010E. Well, in this explainer, we're going to demystify exactly what that code means, figure out what's causing it, and give you a step-by-step checklist to get you back on the road. Let's dive in.
Does this sound familiar? You're driving, everything seems fine, and then suddenly, you feel a major loss of power. You look down at your dashboard, and there it is, diagnostic trouble code U010E. If you're nodding along right now, you are definitely in the right place. And let's be real, it's more than just an inconvenience. It's super frustrating and, honestly, a little worrying. As one source puts it, having a vehicle that experiences a loss of power can be an extremely frustrating experience. No kidding. But understanding what's actually happening is the first step to taking back control. Okay, first things first. Let's decode this message your car is sending you. At its very core, the U010E error is all about a communication breakdown. So let's break down what that actually means for your vehicle.
Here's the official, technical definition. Lost communication with the reductant control module. So what is that? Well, think of it as the brain for a key part of your diesel engine's emissions system. It helps reduce nasty pollutants. When this code pops up, it means that brain has stopped talking to the rest of your car's computer network.
So why is this communication breakdown such a big deal? Because when it happens, your vehicle's main computer goes into a self-protection mode called derate. It literally and intentionally reduces your engine's power to prevent any potential damage. That sudden loss of power you're feeling? Yep, that's derate mode in action. So, we know it's a communication error, but what's actually causing it? It's time to play detective and investigate the four main suspects behind this U010E code. The good news is, this error code almost always comes down to one of four culprits. You've either got some faulty wiring, a poor connection, a damaged component, or a defective module. And even better, each cause points to a pretty clear solution. We're going to use this table as our diagnostic roadmap. So, how do we hunt down the real culprit? With a simple step-by-step checklist. Now the key here is to start with the easiest, most common checks first. No need to jump to the most complicated and expensive possibilities right away. Let's get started. First up on our diagnostic checklist is the most frequent offender of them all, just a poor electrical connection. Before you start worrying about expensive parts, you have to check the basics, and this is about as basic as it gets. So what are you actually looking for? You'll want to get in there and visually inspect the wiring harness that's connected to the reductant control module. See anything that's obviously loose, or maybe even completely disconnected? Give the connections a little wiggle. If anything feels loose, tighten it up. Also, keep an eye out for any of that green or white crusty stuff. That's corrosion, and it's an absolute communication killer.
All right, if all the connections are snug and clean, our next move is to investigate the wiring itself. The connection point might be perfectly fine, but the wire running between the components could be the real problem.
For this step, you're going to want to trace the wiring harness and look for any kind of physical damage. Has it been pinched or frayed, or maybe it even melted against a hot part of the engine? Check really closely for any cuts or breaks. If you find any damaged wiring, it has to be repaired or replaced to get that communication link working again. Okay, so your connections are tight, the wiring looks perfect. What's next? Now it's time to consider that maybe a physical component in the system has actually failed. Really, this is just a process of elimination. If the pathways, the wires, and the connectors are good, then the issue could be at either end of the line. You'll need to look for visible damage on the modules that these wires connect to. If you see something like a cracked casing or any other clear damage, that component is probably done for and will need to be replaced. And that brings us to our final suspect. It's often the least likely, but we have to consider it if everything else checks out. The reductant control module itself might just be defective. After you've ruled out everything else, the module itself becomes the prime suspect. The solution is pretty simple. Replace it. But, and this part is absolutely critical, you must make sure the new module is fully compatible with your specific Ford model and that it's installed correctly. Double-checking this can save you from a massive headache down the line.
So with that diagnostic checklist in your back pocket, you now have a clear path forward. This isn't just about clearing a code, it's about knowing how to solve the problem and get your vehicle running at its best again.
This quote really gets to the heart of it. Knowledge is power. When you understand what this code actually means and you follow these logical steps, you can avoid a lot of expensive guesswork and just fix the issue. That's going to save you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. So the next time you see that U010E code, don't panic. You have the checklist, you know the suspects. Could the solution really be as simple as tightening a loose connection? There's only one way to find out. It's time to investigate.